So I'm going to have to go from this to learning how to get myself through this. Okay, so we're going to, I'll stop saying we. I'm going to move these videos where I don't say we. I am going to Sigma Sports, which is a bike retailer. They have their own clothing lines. They're experts. They do massive group ride outs. They support lots of races, lots of amount of I'm pretty sure they have a cafe, tons of stuff that they do. But anyway, they are going to help support me with the Ironman. So I'm going to pick up a bike today. I know it's a Cannondale. I don't know anything else beyond that, because the whole point is it's every man to learning everything about an Ironman. It's about a 3-hour drive, so it's just outside London. I know they've got a couple of locations. I'm going to go meet them today. Also maybe check out some clothing, so see some different stuff. Also cycling here in the UK, as opposed to hopefully when we go over back to Miami, so it'll be some slightly different clothing. But yeah, we've got about a 3-hour drive, and then we'll head into the shop and have a look and hopefully get a bit of a weapon of a bike. First of all, when I got into the shop, it was looking at the clothing. Now, this is something I was really not sure on, because I come from CrossFit, I come from weightlifting and powerlifting. I'm not the world's tallest guy. I'm 5'8", 5'9", but I am like 83 kilos. I am reasonably muscular. I've got quite big legs, quite big neck, shoulders, and arms. In comparison to a normal cyclist, I am not saying I'm some big bodybuilder. And with cycle clothing being like usually quite tight, I wasn't sure how tight should it be, how aerodynamic do I need to be. So I was always not sure between a medium and a large. So it was the first point of conversation, was to chat to the staff and get directly from them whether I should be a medium or a large. Obviously tried the two on, but that was really cool. I'm a bib shorts going for a medium, because although I do have a giant ass and big-ish legs, I'm not very tall. So these are like a medium. The straps is something I've not had before, but it does actually feel a bit better, like it's pulling them up. And the last time I did a really long ride, I didn't have like the full straps on it, and I felt the shorts was kind of like pulling up all the time because of my legs. So we're going to try on a medium one of these, and I know they're supposed to be tight, but we'll just see the difference between a medium and a large. I do feel a bit like silly, but everybody's very nice and they don't make you feel silly, so I think that's the best thing. Like if you come into one of these places, just tell them your shape and don't worry about it. Okay, so medium's like a little tight on the arms, tight around the chest. They're not supposed to be snug, to be aerodynamic. Come on, baby. So that one's a medium. So it's very like close, but it doesn't feel like too bad. And obviously I'm only going to be in this position and like this position, but I'll try a large on and see the fit difference.
Fit wise, it looks okay. It just depends on how it feels to you, like across the chest. When you're riding, you will be in more of a.
So I'm going to be rounded over anyway.
Exactly.
Or even worse, like
in regards to the width across the shoulders, it will probably feel a bit tighter now than what you'll be on a bike.
Does this tend to like, so my wetsuit, that's already started to kind of like stretch out, or is it made to stay tight?
You want it to be pretty true to how it will feel now on the bike. It will probably loosen up a little bit, but once it's gone through the wash and stuff, it will sort of stay.
It stays pretty there.
So yeah, to me,
medium it is then?
Yeah, it looks good to me. So
Schmedium.
Yeah.
Schmedium. That would be way too small, schmedium.
As long as it's not like cutting under the arms or anything.
No, like that's to be fair, like it's quite clever. The seam is there, but the seam seems to be like here and not there. Because like the lats would then, if it was suit like a suit shirt, would cut under my arms, and then I'm like. I'm not blessed with height, so everything's like compacted in. So
cool. It looks good.
Amazing. The next thing that the guys helped me with, and we're going to show a tiny little clip of this, is shoes. So when you're clipping in, one, there's like a fear of clipping in anyway, but I've been over that. I have ridden enough. I've already fallen off enough times in clips to remember to clip out and to clip in and all that kind of stuff and stay calm. But with the shoes, the first ever shoes that I bought were a super cheap pair. And when I did the first 100-mile bike ride that I did, I could really feel that my feet struggled. They clearly swelled up, my left in particular over my right. So we tried on 3 different types, and there was like an entry-level shoe, there was a little bit more of an expensive shoe, and then there was the like top end, like this is your everything that you do, you wear this shoe every day, you're training every day in it. And it was really cool to see those 3 differences, and we have a little look at those 3 differences now.
Be prepared to spend,
Yeah.
because they could get excited, but like from an entry level, what would you say is like a good price point?
Sort of 150, sort of roughly. Shoes is something that you do want to spend a little bit more on, just because it's sort of your main point of connection between you and the bike and the saddle. So it's good. It's important to get it right, because if that shoe's not comfortable, it just throws you off your game completely. You're just counting down the mileage till you take off again. So it is one of the things to
Budget on and be really honest.
be a bit more generous on price.
I like that. Makes sense. But so then entry level, if you're going to go above, how big is that jump then happening?
So for example, these are about 165. The shoes can go all the way up to £450 at an extreme. But a lot of brands will it's tiered sort of levels. So it'll go from like 100 to 165, then it goes to 210, and then the model above that is 350.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got a definitive like, this is pretty good before I commit to like something. I think I'm gonna gotcha.
Exactly. There's levels to it. So this model here is the model up, which is 210.
Now because we've got the 2.
So you can see the difference there. You've got the 2 dials. It's got a slightly more aggressive heel, so it cups your heel a little bit more. And then you've got a slightly higher grade carbon sole, but they're both carbon soles, so they're both a pretty good position to be in.
And it looks like a slightly different,
Slightly more
material.
perforated, slightly softer as well. So it sort of really cups your foot, and it's sort of sculpted fit.
So out of all 3 fit the best. I wouldn't go for the top 3 or 1. Yeah. I really want
It feels like the same weight. I mean, again, I weigh quite a bit, so when everyone says about saving weight, I'm like, well, I already weigh a lot anyway. But
I'll show you the really noticeable differences. I'll grab the model above this, and you can really feel the difference in weight.
the university trip out there.
yeah, so like you said like one of the main advantages to having 2 is that from a comfort I can let off, say the bottom one, but I'm still going to keep it tight on there.
So you can really vary that sort of that
It
tightness.
feels more hooked
Exactly.
than that one, I would say.
Yeah.
But not tight, but definitely more like hooked.
Yes.
Now coming up is the really exciting bit. So this is the first time I got a proper look at the Cannondale, but also getting some real insight from somebody who does this every day. Clearly everybody that works at Sigma is crazy into cycling and bikes. And not only just from a personal interest, they clearly care about promoting the sport to other people. And it's not just to sell bikes and to be part of a brand. They'll really care about making sure that people feel comfortable. And like the guy kept saying to me is that if you're not comfortable and you're just dying to get off the bike, I mean, this is something that they all said. They said from the shoes, they said from the clothing, they said from the bike setup itself, that if you're in pain, that you're struggling on the bike, you're going to want to get off it. And that's something that they don't want to do. They want you to enjoy cycling and really get into it. So going for this kind of measurement, this was no special service just for me. This is what everybody comes in, whether you're going for a £1,000, a 500 quid, or a 10,000, 15,000 pound bike. You will get the same service. So they're going to measure you, they're going to put the bike together, you're going to get to sit on, pedal, move, also talk you through some of the differences on the bike. So the bike I've got has got electric gears. That's something that I've not had before, and so I would have kind of felt this weird thing and I've been like, why am I not shifting and what's going on? So also just to get that 5-10 minutes with someone who knows so much is really, really valuable. So this is me getting fitted for the bike.
Effectively, it's got a tape measure on here, and if you treat that part as the saddle, facing that way, you can get a pretty accurate measurement of your legs. If you squish it, just push it down. Yeah, and stand all the way over it. Perfect. 79 centimeters, in case you were interested.
So yeah, it's nice, yeah. Because I was trying to measure my inside of my leg, and I was like,
You never do, 'cause you can't get anything quite up there and stuff. So
Perfect.
And for like, again, the lay person, and this may be where I was wrong, I was always told that when you sit on the bike and you straighten your leg, it should be almost straight but not long out.
So with that measurement, we then take 10 off of that, which gives an approximate range of bend.
Okay.
And then obviously, like, it's subjective. Some people have tight hamstrings, needs to go lower down, and some people might have different range of movement in their ankle, and it would fluctuate based on some of the intricacies of a person, rather than being like, this is the rule of thumb.
No idea how are they going to look at like that size, because there's numbers. What would be your number one thing of how somebody can walk in and say to you, I think I may be between this and that?
I think we work to a higher level than that. We'd never take it at face value. Like, we don't like to just make ourselves busy.
Okay.
Like, we actually want to do it properly, and like, there are a lot of bike shops that just sort of stand back and sneer and think.
Okay.
And I don't think that's right. Again, because the nuances between like the 54 in their Synapse model, which is their endurance fit, and the 54 in their gravel bike. I think it's easy to come to a store like this and think it's not for you, when actually it is. And sometimes we see it like people on their second, third, fourth, fifth bike from us, because that initial introduction was proper. So I think it's important. I think the message to get across is actually, don't be fearful of bike shops if you don't have a big budget. Go there, make that relationship. Don't ask the internet, ask the people that do it every single day.
And it was Matt and Dan who were really amazing. So Matt took me through everything from clothing and shoes and really broke that down. And then Dan, we went into the fitting and we fitted out the what I'm calling stealth bomber, but it's not, it's a kind of deal. And we've got him home all the way from London. It's like a 4-hour drive. Put the wheel back on, managed to do it all myself. And one cool thing, in terms of people talking about the bike and the difference, like hear this noise. Oh, careful, mate. That's the build-up and the difference of these bikes. The other bike did not make that noise. So we're going to bring him in and then wait a couple of days until we get our first ride before we take him in.